So this is called a character journal. What you do is you act like you're somebody else and you write as if you're that person, and this is the journal that that person writes in. So example, if you want to be someone named Sally, I'm just using an example, I'm definitely not no Sally, but if you want to be someone named Sally who's a 39-year-old lawyer who is divorced and has 3 children, you can become that person.
Brandon, hi. Wait. Brandon as in Brandon? What? Like, my jaw's on the floor. I met Brandon in 2nd grade. And I'm just like in love with this boy. I'm like, oh my God. We become really good friends. All of a sudden we're in high school and I'm like in love with this boy still. Like, I'm like, what is going on? We decided to like date for a minute and it was the most awkward thing in the whole world. Like, we genuinely couldn't do it.
So when I was younger, I actually really thoroughly enjoyed dancing. I was very passionate about it. I believed that one day I was gonna become a dancer. I was actually in a dance group called Space. Space stood for something and I currently forget. I was about 11 and it was hip-hop dance and I loved it. We performed in front of lots of people, big audiences, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was the best time of my life. Every time it was time to practice for dance, I was just lightened up. Like, it meant the world to me. I will never forget the time. There was this one talent show for my high school and I was in it, obviously. I choreographed the dance. One of my friends was in it with me and she had a lot of friends. I didn't really have that many friends at that time of my life, and I remember when we got on stage, everybody was rooting for my friends. I heard them from the audience. It was kind of embarrassing. And I knew right then that I was about to mess up. I was like so embarrassed that nobody was really rooting for me and I just kind of felt horrible. But after the dance, all I heard was my name. Like, a lot of people were rooting for me. And I was like, oh my God. And my parents actually ended up showing up. So they saw me do the dance. And afterwards, my mom and dad kept telling me how they kept hearing my name after the dance. And they actually heard someone say how surprised they were of how well of a dancer I was. And it just, you know, it meant a lot to hear that. And, to add on to that story, there was this kid, I'm not gonna say his name, we had some issues in the past. When we were in elementary school, he would make fun of me because I was bigger, but we grew up, we were in high school, so he wasn't really like that anymore, and he came up to me a few days after the talent show, and he actually came up to me and told me how good of a dancer I was. I was legit shocked. I was like, wow, thanks. I think people started taking me more seriously when I said I love to dance, but I don't think I took myself seriously because I started gaining more weight, and I gained so much weight that dance was no longer a part of my life. It's almost as if I forgot how to dance. I dance now just, you know, behind closed doors for fun and for jokes, and it's like I don't know how to dance anymore. I don't have a rhythm like I used to. It's just sad. It's sad to think that I used to be so passionate about it and now I can't even shake my hips.
So we were at a school dance and we didn't know it, but the DJ was actually judging us on our dancing and we didn't even know it, okay? So at the end of the dance, he says, I've been watching y'all. Okay, it's kind of creepy actually. I've been watching y'all and I choose 3 winners of who danced the best in my opinion.
Oh.
And I was the first one. I was like, what? Okay.
How
tiger.
Go, girl, give us nothing.
Okay guys, so I'm about to actually show you something super like special to me. So I'm just gonna do a real quick backstory. I am the oldest of 4. I have 3 younger brothers, and when I was first put into foster care, me and one of my brothers were put into foster care while the other one actually got put up for closed adoption. So he was adopted, and that was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through. And then my mom ended up getting pregnant again, and she ended up having my baby brother, and I only got to meet him one time. My mom actually had him while I was in foster care, but I was able to go to the hospital where she had him for a supervised visit, and I held him in my arms, and my mom actually sent me a picture. I don't even know how she still has it, but she sent me a picture of that day. Yeah, she did. Like, there's not a lot of things I remember from my childhood, but I remember that moment, and I remember that day, and I remember how like wonderful it was, but also how hard it was. So in this photo, I am about 12 years old, and 3 years later, I actually wrote a poem. So I was 15, and I still have that poem. I remember when I was in high school, I went to the trailer where I used to live, and there was still some stuff laying around, couches, and things were torn apart by the police, and it was just insane. But there was a few things still left in my room, and one of those things was the poem that I wrote about my baby brother, who I only got to meet one time. And through all the years of being alive, because I'm 32, I have been able to keep that poem. So I want to show you the picture. I also want to read you the poem. The poem is not that good. Remember, I was 15, okay? But it was special and important to me, and I really want to open up a little bit more and show it. You're out there under the same moon. We placed our feet on the same gravel. I met you once and held you tight. I think of the sadness of my last goodbye. You looked at me with baby eyes, oblivious to your future versus mine. Our mom made the choice while I suffer the consequence. Although I saw everything we could be, our mom made the choice and set you free. A brother I will love forever, who will never love me. My first brother that was put up for adoption, that I was really close to, I saved his life and everything. I still don't know where he is. I think about him, dream about him, miss him, love him dearly, and I just hope that he's okay. But the one in that photo that I just showed you guys, he found us a few years ago, so he is actively in my life, and I can safely say that, you know, that last line in the poem isn't true. He loves me and I love him, and I've never been so grateful, and I can only hope that my other baby brother will find me one day, hopefully.
So this is me and my mom when I was a little girl. I probably couldn't even really speak at this age, but when I learned how to speak and form sentences and understand words, since I was like literally 4 years old, I've been saying something to my mother even till this day, as I am 32 years old. So for the last 28 years of my life, I have been telling my mom, I love you more than every single spoonful of water in the whole world. And it was something that I just randomly said when I was 4, and I have not stopped saying. Through everything we've been through, I have not stopped saying that, and I haven't stopped meaning it.
We went to the carnival, and George bought the biggest stuffed animal you could.
Yeah.
And we had it hanging above her crib. And I used to wonder why her bottle, I'd find these little balls of hair. Little balls of hair.
Yeah.
I'll be darned, Mom. If she didn't have, I didn't know this, but this is my truth, so. Behind her teeth, they were so rotten. It's called baby bottle syndrome. They were so rotten you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
That she was making her own cap by pulling the fur off the bear and putting it in the holes. So when she sucked her bottle, it didn't hurt.
Oh,
That's smart.
Isn't that weird?
Damn, that's smart even at 4.
And it's just a thing that we
we have together. I'm getting a little emotional. So my mom got me this for Christmas. It is a spoon that says love you more, and it's just so meaningful to me that I started crying. It's these types of gifts that are super sentimental to me. I will never use this spoon. It's actually right next to my bed. I sleep with it near, and I know some people might not understand this, but it's just so meaningful, and I just appreciate her so much. And she's the most amazing, wonderful person I've ever known in my whole life, and she is literally the epitome of strength and of change. And oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that gift from her because it just meant the world to me.
The horseshoes, the bean bags, and her.